Before we dive in, all the content in this video is for educational purposes and should not be considered financial advice. Always do your due diligence before making any financial decisions. Now, with all of that being said, let's get this crypto.
Unique verses for unique markets. Ride the resistance, rinse and repeat targets. Nibble on the dip cause I'm bearish. Keep the honey, I've been got the men who keep bearish. Mama bear mode, bear market tag team. Papa bear money out and trap stash in. Honeycomb baguettes, every market can't reek. Millions I invest while the moon boys sleep. Howling at the bare moon.
Hey everybody, this is your main man and only Bear Moon. Tonight, we will be diving into something very interesting. The market lately has been in shaky grounds, a lot of capitulation lately, and more constant doubt lingering in this space. Altcoins have been taking a hit, while Bitcorn has been range bound between 106,000 and 92,000. I'm going to get to it. This video is going to be about why 2026 will be the year of the bear market. There's been a consistent pattern playing out throughout all the cycles, and it's been hard to dispute it. I'm going to go ahead and explain it into detail. So let's dive in and let's get this honey. Looking at the 1 month time frame here on the BTC chart, we're going to go all the way back to our first cycle in 2010. As you can see here, our first cycle from so far October 2010 being our lowest point at 1 penny. We then saw a massive jump, a parabolic run to over $31 per BTC in June of 2011. We then had our severe correction of over 93%, which here on November 2011, it was our rock bottom. But there is something here in particular I want you guys to pay attention to focus on. If you notice here, I went ahead and did a layout so you can see in better detail what's going on. From 2011 here on November to our first halving, it took us about 378 days. Pay attention. What's fascinating about this is that if now you take that from the first halving to our next peak here in November 2013, it took us about 378 days. Now, is that coincidence? Well, let's go ahead and dig further. From the peak of the second cycle back in November 2013 to the bottom of which is January 2015, it took us slightly over a year for that to play out. Now pay close attention to this. This is the part you're going to start seeing the pattern. From the bottom in January 2015 to our second halving, it took us approximately 539 days. Now check this out. From the second halving all the way over here, from July 2016 to our next peak here in December 2017, when BTC almost hit $20,000, it took us about 525 days. It's literally playing out like whatever the amount of days it was from the bottom to the halving will be the same amount of days from the halving to the next peak. You still don't believe me? Let's keep digging. You're going to see. Now, if you look at the peak of 2017, when we hit almost $20,000 from December 2017, all the way to December 2018, it took us literally a year for BTC to hit bottom. And now check this out. From the bottom in December 2018 to our third halving, it took us about 525 days. Now check this pattern. From the third halving to our next peak, let's go ahead and move on to the chart here. It took us about 540 days. You see how close that is? That is very precise. And also check this part out. From the peak of November 2021 at 69,000 to November 2022, it took us literally a year for us to hit rock bottom. And here we go again. And I promise you guys, I am not making this up. From November 2022 to our fourth halving, it took us about 530 days. 530 days. So what can we gather from here? We can point out is that so far a few facts have been plain consistent that we cannot dispute. After the first halving of BTC, from peak to bottom, it takes essentially a year for it to play out so far. And the other fact is that from whatever the amount of days from the bottom it took to get to the halving, this is projecting will be essentially the same amount of days it will take from the halving to the next peak for the next cycle. If we go based on this data, we can see that this is projecting that our next peak is likely going to be between October to December of 2025 of this year. And that since it takes usually a year for us to hit rock bottom, this means that over here, 2026 is going to be an entire year of price decline. This means the ideal time to get back into the market would be for 2027. What's more interesting about this is that no matter what happened throughout all of these cycles, no matter how many wars transpired, what crisis has manifested, like the COVID-19 lockdown, or what president has been elected, none of this stopped this pattern from playing out. None of it. Completely irrelevant according to what this data is telling us. As somebody that's been involved in the space since 2014, this is something that's really hard for me to go against. I know at the moment everybody's facing fear in the markets. The market recently has been in shaky grounds, but according to this, it seems we still do have a lot of room to grow for the remaining of this year. We don't need to know exactly what the price is going to be to figure out the peak. Based on this, we already have a specific time frame that we can use as a metric to determine when would be the ideal time to actually get out. And that alone is very advantageous. So for me personally, I would be taking advantage of this data. For now, a lot of newcomers are likely to say, this is likely not going to be the case, and we're just going to continue being bullish. We have the ETFs, the strategic Bitcoin reserves, and other countries are getting involved, etc., etc. However, for me, it is hard to dispute with the significant events that has occurred in BTC's history. None of this disrupted this pattern. I'm really curious to know what you guys are thinking about this. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Please feel free to share this with other analysts, other YouTubers, or other reputable people out there that can justify why this cycle will be different. If you got value from this video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to stay on your toes, stay vigilant, stay bold. This is your main man and only bear, Bear Moon. Thanks for watching.
Unique verses for unique markets. Ride the resistance, rinse and repeat targets. Nibble on the dip cause I'm bearish. Seek the honey, I've been got the men who keep bearish. Mama bear mode, bear market tag team. Papa bear money out and trap stash in. Honeycomb baguettes, every market can't reek. Millions I invest while the moon boys sleep. Howling at the bare moon, my trade just made you. Honey still coming through and through. And through all of you can fade, bare moon, or you can be made. Either way I'm still eating. All your moon boys, you get wrecked. Said it's a bare moon, and I'm the bearish bearer bears. Said it's a bare moon, and I'm the bearish bearer bears. Said it's a bare moon, bearish bare moon. Don't you wish that you could ride the bare moon? Rug another lunar cause you thought it was a bare moon. It ain't a straight moon unless I'm saying so.
Howling at the bare moon.
My trade just made you.
Made you.
Honey still coming. True. And through.